Okay, it's April 3rd of our Lord's year 2016. I'm here at the Westminster Courthouse slash Police Department in the County of Orange, in the state of California, in the city of Westminster. Okay, no news rack. Solicitation or sales of vending, no loitering or littering, and no drugs or alcohol. No overnight sleeping or working in the camping, no skateboarding, bicycling, or scooters. Okay. Nothing about video. Again, this is the Westminster Civic Center. Oh, look at is that Doctor Who's what is it? TARDIS? Tortoise? I know it's blue, but Doctor Who can't fool me. He painted that red so I wouldn't notice. So you got the TARDIS here, painted red. Kind of weird. Okay, this would be whatever building that is. All right. Council chambers. Let's see. I got to figure out. I think Westminster Police Department is across the street. Of all the times I've been here, you know, there's City Hall. Council chambers. Again, I don't see anything about videoing. Did you know there's no watering 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.? More government intrusion. Please turn off cell phones. Well, this is not a cell phone, it's a camcorder. So I guess that's okay. Please turn off cell phones. Yeah, that's all it says. City agenda. Big waste of time. Public Works Department. It would have to be way over there. Should have went through the back way. This would be a First Amendment test. I have no idea how the Westminster Police Department handles video cameras, because after all, they're just as, in their eye, just as dangerous as a handgun. And a bunch of kids on skateboards. Yeah, that's a great idea. It says, when I came in, it says no loitering. Look at these guys. Excuse the shaking. I'm walking at the same time. WPD. It stands for Water and Power Department, or Westminster Police Department. I don't see any signs about videoing. Conserve water, it's wisely. What the hell that means? You know, the United States flag. And most law enforcement officers don't have a clue. You ever ask a law enforcement officer, can you name the 10 Bill of Rights? The 10 amendments to the Bill of Rights? Can you mention the preamble? Haven't got a clue. Okay. This is the Westminster Courthouse, or what we like to call the money exchange. It's all about money. I don't know how we could live in a society which sits there and says, we're going to give you court costs. Well, that just tells me that me pleading guilty is a financial benefit to this court. So how can I don't get that. And the reason I'm breathing like this is because it's quite hot. Westminster Police Department. The reason I'm here is I don't say anything about videos. Oh great, they're closed. Christ's sakes. Police department closed. So I guess all the brass is gone. That means that there's no crime. Well, anyways, they're closed. I tried to get in there to talk with a watch commander, sergeant or above, to ask them what their policy is on videotaping. And this, like in most states, they do immediately have these signs out. But if there's not a municipality or a code or a section or a statute, they'll sit there and say, you could be loitering, you could be asked to move. And any state official on state property could ask you to leave that property. So this is a gray area when it comes to videotaping. This is the Westminster court in front of me. So what happens is, don't give them that, it's my personal opinion, is don't give them that, haha, told you so, you have to leave because I said so. And how many times have we seen on YouTube all these videos about cops just going berserk? Before it was the wiretap law, until Cummings gave a ruling in which there's no established media, anybody with a camera, video otherwise, is media. So there's no such thing as you have to see your press pass. Well, you're not media if you don't have your press pass. That's what was shoved down our throats for years, and it's not true. The state, this has already been adjudicated in the federal level, okay? And then every time law enforcement asks you for your ID, you have to provide it. Not true. And these guys are slowly realizing that they're, weapon screening. A person must pass through a metal briefcase containers. Nothing about videoing. Entrance. Yeah, that'll work. Ding, 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 ding. That's what I didn't put that in there. It was some bell. Anyways, look at that. Yeah. All the gang members. You put a slash through anything, the gang members won't touch this place. No. Locked. They made their quota today. This will be the Superior Court. Let me pull back here. See if I can pull back. Oh, there we go. Okay, Superior Court of California, West Justice Center. Bullshit. Just as my ass. It's more like just us. You have to pay just us. Traffic and Criminal Court. It's funny how they put those two together. Yeah, Public Entity 901. You got a parking ticket. And that's what it is. If everybody in the world would sit there and just dispute their ticket, go to the prelim, don't enter an informed plea. And that's, once you enter a plea of guilty or not guilty, especially a guilty plea, in essence, what you're telling them is you are informed of the charges. You understand the charges. You understand your position. Well, I'm not an attorney, so maybe I don't. I don't understand the position. In order for me to make an informed plea, enlighten me, Your Honor. And these honors hit at the fact that, what do you represent? And the judges would sit there and say, the people. Do you or do you not get compensation from the state? Yes. That's if they answer it that quickly. They'll sit there and say a bunch of bullshit. And then, this is a prelim. No, yeah, Your Honor, I have the intent to enter a guilty plea, an informed guilty plea. The only element missing right now, Your Honor, is I'm not informed. I don't understand. And in order for me to inform, I must ask you a couple of questions. You're supposed to be an independent party. You're supposed to be a party that's supposed to represent me and the state. Yes. You get paid by the state. Yes. And isn't the state the one that's the plaintiff in this matter? Yes. And you say, well, you're getting paid by the same person, and yet you want me to believe that you are going to be unbiased or biased, or you want me to believe that you're going to be neutral on this, right? And then you also hit up the fact that, identify the fact that, now remember, they're going to push you because it's nothing but a cattle call. The last thing they care about is what's truly justice. And so they'll sit there and say, hey, come on, move it. Come on, move along. I got a big calendar, a lot on my calendar. And you sit there and say, objection, relevance. We're talking about me, not you. You know, so there's a lot of tricks. And that's what really burns me. It really gets me upset. And then you hit up the fact that, is it my understanding that with the guilty plea, I may or may not be charged a court cost? Yes. And then you sit there and say, that money in question helps support this system. Yes, the same system that's trying to prosecute me. Yes. So my guilty plea will not only benefit the state, but this court personally. And first of all, this, what I'm telling you, took about 5 minutes, but they'll take 15, 20, 30 minutes. And then they have a tendency to think that they could enter a plea for you. This is only prelim. All you can do is this, and which isn't true. But these judges want you to believe that somehow they're representing you. Meanwhile, there's a financial gain for them. All these people, they all plead not guilty. You'll destroy the system. Financially, destroy it. That's what this is. This is employee. Parking permit, City of Westminster employee. Okay. Anyways, a lot of these people say, why do you harass police officers? They're just doing their job. Well, last time I checked, in California, it's called the PC 830, which has to do with police powers. I don't like to use the word power, because it sounds like they're given a wand, which is called a baton with them. And if you want to make something happen, just swing that wand / baton. So I don't believe in the word power, but I will use authority. And this country has a way of just these cops, law enforcement, agents, constables, whatever you want to call them. Enforcement. That's funny, Prius. Oh, I stand corrected. It's a Ford. Looked like a Prius from afar. Yeah, see now, get this. Serving the city of Westminster. They're serving the city, not the people. Wouldn't it be better is serving the people of Westminster, serving the citizens of No, we serve the city of Westminster. You all could go to hell. Morons. Yeah, there's our flag with the Vietnamese flag next to it. Let's see if I can zoom in there. Yeah. Some kind of memorial. Pretty dead. Yes, I'd like to report a sniper on top of a building. I'm 75 years old, but I can see from afar away. Okay, let's see. I gotta check my battery. I brought 3 extra batteries. Nevertheless, let me explain about the First Amendment. The First Amendment, you need to understand these rights were written in blood. People actually died, are continuing to die. I'm not talking about law enforcement. I'm talking about the men and women of the armed forces, such as, but not limited to, Army, Navy, Marines, National Guards, Coast Guard. These people are dying. And for you to sit there and say, I know or I don't want to know my rights, is such a disservice. It's terrible. Arm yourself with knowledge. And so when these people are saying, why do you have to give them a First Amendment test? They know what it is. No, they don't. There are hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube. And there's a movement, PINAC, with photography is not a crime. And I am just at a loss how these people, well, the elevators doesn't work either. Jeez. Westminster's a shithole. Yeah, you're most likely to be, I'm a white guy. So I'm most likely to be, even as a white guy, I'm most likely to be shot and by a police officer and killed by a terrorist. And another thing, I was talking about the terrorists. Understand what terrorism is. They cannot kill all of us. So what they do is they kill just a portion, or they do acts which inflicts terror, hence the name terrorist. What they want to do is they want to disrupt your lives. They want you to stay in your home, under a bed, clinging to a Bible and maybe a 45. And I don't mean a record. That is their goal. So when these cops come out and they tell you, why are you filming? You may be a terrorist. That's not an excuse. In fact, if anybody is doing the bidding of terrorism, it's the police. Because how many times on these videos we've seen 1, 2, all of a sudden the camera pans around and there's 3 or 4 more. Like 4 police officers just infringing on this guy's First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know, you need to wake up. Everybody, wake up. Well, maybe I should have done this early. Or earlier. But the thing I've seen, the thing is, all these notices about saving water has nothing to do with First Amendment rights. God forbid they list the Bill of Rights in front of your... this is not the commandments. That was shot down by the... it was removed by the federal government. And about this church and state thing. There's no such thing as church and state. Okay, there's nowhere in the Constitution that says anything about church and state. Church and state was just a buzzword. Ay, caramba. So anyway, Westminster Police Department closed. You know, I want to go in there and see what their policy is. I want to file a FOIA request. But do I have to get Donald Trump down here? Nah, I shouldn't go political, huh? I should stay on the topic. The topic is we are eroding our rights. Even the Supreme Court is eroding your rights. These sorority checkpoint, they hide behind the safety of the public in general, you know. Okay, this is some kind of a memorial. On October 10th, 2007. Oh, by the way, excuse me, there was a police detective from Westminster Police Department that was arrested and charged with kidnapping and rape, an active member. I wonder if that badge is removable. Yep, they all look like that. Oh, he's all worried. And he's going into work, not realizing that he's going to infringe on people's civil rights. And how many times have we seen these people when you interact with law enforcement and you tell them Terry versus Ohio, Brown versus Texas? The first thing comes out of their mouth, I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about that. I mean, you're talking to them about your civil rights. You're talking to them about what they can't, police restrictions. I don't want to hear about that. Take it up with an attorney. And they wonder why the city are sued for hundreds and thousands of dollars. You know, you tell them, you know, hey, I'm in fear right now. Oh, don't worry about it. It's officer safety, not yours. Oh, absolute morons. This country is filled with bullies, absolute bullies. Now you're saying, God, what does this guy got a big old heart on for law enforcement? It's not just law enforcement. It's our, lack of a better word, justice system, which I personally believe it's null and void. There is no justice in the justice system. You got to pay your fine first. In the prelim, in some states, you must pay your fine in full. And if you want, especially these cameras, if you want to fight it, well, I want my day in court. Fine, you'll get your day in court, pay your fine first. And they want to hide behind the, no, 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 you're innocent until proven guilty. And then you got the judge saying, oh, no, no, I'm here to protect you and the state. I'm just a neutral party. And then if you're found guilty, it supports him and his court and his justice system. I truly believe that these penalties for, I mean, you get one penalty, you plead guilty, and you're going to be charged. Here in California, the fines are extremely high. In some states, you could have a speeding ticket under 10 miles an hour, 10 to 15 miles an hour, as opposed to speed limit, and you may see a $50 to $75 fine. Here in California, it's triple that. It's going to be $314. It's super high, and that's not including. And then well, anyways, that's not including court costs. God forbid, you're penalized for getting an informed plea. Ugh, these morons. But there's only one person or one entity that's even dumber. And that's people who take it. People who think that they're powerless. They don't do anything. They don't want to do anything. Those people are doing such a disservice, and I don't mean to repeat myself, but I want to, this is City Hall, and they they spelled shitty wrong. Well, maybe Westminster Hall, 1977 City Council. Yeah, 77. Probably locked also. I mean, come on, it's not even 5 o'clock yet. City of Westminster, oh, they're closed on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm glad crime doesn't happen on Saturdays and Sundays. For a minute there, I was worried. A lot of white vehicles. Yeah. 22 minutes so far. Oh, no, I'm here to protect you. And then once he slams the gavel, you're guilty. Pay the fine, pay me, pay my court. And then trying to pass it off. It's just, I'm so disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. And you're saying, well, you can't do it by yourself. Well, I'm going to try. At least I could say that. What is this? They got their own food truck? Forensic service unit, but you got serving service with integrity. Oh, God. Such self-righteous, pretentious asses. They got a food truck. That must be nice. I'm sure there's a lot of bacon in there. What do you think? I don't know if it's an ice cream truck or what. Yeah. Well, they're all out on the street generating revenue, and that's all it is. Because if there was true justice, why do we find police hiding behind a corner or down of a bend of a hill? You're speeding going up a hill. And also, when you go to the crest of the hill and you're going down, there's a guy who hits you with the speed wand. What is it called? That speed check bullshit. And they'll sit there and say, oh, no, it's a matter of public safety bullshit. Because if it was a matter of public safety, why are you hiding? Oh, I'm in the shade. Ugh. Like, they treat us with... The police treat us with such disdain. And they don't care. They don't have it. You go through the YouTube. Go to First Amendment audit or First Amendment test. What they do is they... just absolutely amazing. Let me see. Maybe it's up there. Anyways. People need to exercise their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment. The first is freedom of speech, assembly, press, you know the word. Second, firearms. And what pertains here is the Fourth and Fifth. The Fourth, to be secured in your personal effects, papers, personal effects, that old thing. And the Fifth has to do with, everybody knows that one. I think the only one people know is the First and Fifth. Fifth, it says self-incrimination. You cannot be forced to testify, or they cannot illegally obtain evidence convicting you. You can't. You don't. You cannot. They cannot force you to incriminate yourself. It could be verbiage. It could be tangible properties. But again, I went to this whole place, and spending almost, we're going on a half an hour here, and I'm sure most of you turned this video off, but rant and rave, and it does no good. City Hall. Absolutely amazing. I do admire the guys from Free Keene. If you check it out, Keene, spelling, Free Keene. You should do a Google on that, or go to YouTube. These guys got their, they got it together. I don't know where these all empty. Public Works Department. Great. Boy, this looks like a park. Yeah, if the drought keeps going in California, these things, you got to put a quarter to get a drink of water. See? As far as it hasn't done it yet, put a quarter in. I don't know. Most of this video must be all chopped up and stuff, but I got extra SD cards. I have an extra battery. But I like to address. Well, maybe I should do it on a shorter video, so people have a attention span of a guppy. It's my personal rant and rave. You can agree with me, disagree with me. But instead of just disagreeing with me, why don't you rebut my issues? It's true that you plead guilty. It benefits the state. That's not up for discussion or debate in my eye, because there is no. It's true. It benefits the state. Where do you think that $275 or $314 or $317? Where do you think that goes to? That's not the court cost. That's just a ticket. Where do you think it goes to? And into a slush fund to help the veterans? Or does it go to law enforcement that lay down their lives? Does it help their families? No. No, it's for the state to buy better cars, faster cars, bigger cars, just like the CHP. The CHP I mean, these guys make millions, literally millions of dollars. That's all they do is traffic. You know, they don't answer domestic calls normally. Now, there's some agency that some municipality will use the CHP for a city police. Some CHP will do federal buildings or state buildings. Other than these individuals, I'm going to say, and I'm just guessing, it's my personal opinion, that about 90% of them do not answer domestics. You know, I bet you here in California they handle a lot of 417 man with a gun, but you know, because of all the freeway shootings. Other than that, traffic, 90s, and also here in Orange County, California, and I think it's throughout the state. When you see a motor officer, he doesn't answer calls. They don't send them out to domestics, man with a gun, or 261 rape, or 242 assault and battery report. You know, 459 a burglary, 207 kidnapping, 187 homicide. No, these motor officers, all they do is traffic, which is the moneymaker. That's why there's so much emphasis on traffic. Now, this is Westminster Library. I may just switch batteries and SD card here shortly. Boy, it's like, I can't believe it. It's closed. I can't find anybody in the police department. I guess I'll have to wait. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, now they're coming to get me. Now, hold on a minute. I'm shitting my pants. Yeah. The private citizen, I don't even like to use the word private citizen versus the police, because the police did not give up their citizenship. You know, really, they're higher on the echelon than average person. That's dumb to sit there and say that the police are not private citizens. Yes, they are. They're given authority, but other than that, they're still citizens. I know that most of you guys have turned this off, but court parking. And we're on 13th Street. How apropos. 13th Street. Sid Goldstein, Freedom Park. Oh, God. I love it how they throw words around like freedom and integrity and service with a smile type crap. Vehicles must be parked in the marked stalls only. Illegal parking vehicles will be towed away at owner's expense. CVC 22651. Well, I do not see any do not trespass, do not loiter over here, or anything but videos. I don't know what this place is. Housing project? Oh yeah, Rose Gardens. Can you imagine living near here? Private property, no public. Other phrase vehicles do away with it. Rose Gardens. That's weird. It's a not the already vehicles not displayed. Plant card, distinguished license plates. Again, I don't see anything about. That's kind of weird setup to have a court parking, and yet it's got an access to an apartment complex. Yeah, this is how much respect people have. Vehicles must be parked in marked stalls. Only parked vehicles will be towed at owner's expense. It's weird. Now, what bailiff would own this car? Didn't see any no trespassing sign, and I did not see any. I'm not loitering. I'm walking. I'm also not stupid. Loitering in California is 647. But 647 code has to do with a whole bunch of them. 647F is you're drunken in public. 647, there's also a solicitation for sexual acts in a public bathroom. So, anyways, in these First Amendment tests, when they sit there and say, "Wow, these are my private vehicles," who cares? It's, there's a term in the law that says, "Eyes commit no trespass." And as long as you're occupying a real property that you're authorized to be in, such as not limited to private property that you own and that you have control of, which means you could be the owner or you could be the agent of the owner. As long as you have legal control of the said property, which could be public or private. Again, the private, there's certain things it has to abide by. Anything that has to do with in public sight. How many times have we seen these old, if you ever go to these videos on YouTube that has to do with I'm investigating you. Okay, so it's a criminal investigation? Yeah. What crime? Suspicious. That's not a crime. In California, it's 925. 928 is a prowler, but 925 has to do with a suspicious person, suspicious activity, suspicious vehicle. I don't know why these guys drove in and drove out. Another one driving in. I don't understand now I'm back on private property. I'm going to switch out the, just to safeguard my SD card. I'm going to also switch out the battery, just in case. All right. I doubt if, instead of waterboarding, they should be listening to this video. I know. I hear you. All right. I'm going to go.